bag with my bonanza over there. I went to CC, I think it is, CIC.
Okay.
Don't struggle too hard, Chris. If it doesn't work, you still got Zoom.
The old fuel tanks, the
So, if it's time.
indicator.
It is time.
Magnetic strip. Fields in there. Now, it doesn't rub, it just, magnetic business touches. And it's got an analog thing where you tell you how many
Caveat that.
Well, I can tell, when I pull up the thing, I can read that too.
Lose sleep over.
So it works super well. If you're gonna fly a long trip, you know, you
You technically have a drawer.
I hope during the meeting I
It's a
never
shelf.
have to say, excuse me, I need to get something out of my drawer.
You zoomed up?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Alrighty.
YouTube is up mostly, I believe. We're ready to go.
Yeah, YouTube going?
Yes,
Good.
both.
That one ain't on.
What color is the light supposed to be?
Now it doesn't have light at all.
This one's green, that back one doesn't have one either.
Sometimes she's told us they're on these rooms.
Alright, well,
gotta stay away from this.
we're gonna let her rip.
Well, this one at least should be on.
I love.
They can see me.
things, but
That's important.
I had to
Good
get
enough,
off
we're
of
good.
Okay.
Alright, time being 7-ish on April 11th, time for our Kent City Hall Council meeting. City Hall, Kent City Council meeting. Can I get a call to order and roll call, please?
Elwick.
Here.
Gates.
Here.
Cassinius.
Yep.
Farberter.
Here.
Fluha.
Here.
Stark.
Here.
All rise and say the pledge of allegiance.
I don't like blocking people.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody.
I think you could try.
I get a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Second.
Motion by Bethany, second by Riley. All those in favor?
Aye.
Get a motion to
You're the
approve the
military,
consent
so we're
agenda
fine.
as written.
Second.
Motion by Bethany, second by Riley. Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Now it's time for receiving file communication petitions and remonstrances. We have received a couple letters that we will soon file into our system. Any got any questions on those? Super. Committee reports. What's that?
Were there any?
We just had a work
Yes,
session.
other than the one today.
Yep, so we just right before this meeting, we had a work session with our illustrious Benton Municipal Electric Board of Trustees. We kind of discussed some,
It was an awkward truce, it's okay. Illustrious. You said luscious? No, you
Said
said
illustrious.
Oh.
It sure sounded like luscious.
I don't know what the hell you guys are hearing, but I'm hearing
I heard
Thank
luscious.
you.
illustrious,
Okay.
I did, okay.
and I'm old.
thank you for my clean-minded council members. So, so we had discussed the possibility of the Second Street sewer line that collapsed and failed during the flood of '08 and '16. And we're going to look in to see what kind of costs are to get that fixed. Because the last thing we do is have that fail and have our electrical utility plant go down because of it. We also talked about possible purchase of streetlights out of Anderson Street. We were looking at the cost of that versus how much we're renting them for, and the numbers might work in our favor. But Chris is gonna put that all into an agenda item for us on the next council meeting to discuss and vote on. And we also discussed the payment in lieu of taxes disbursement to the city of Vinton from BMEU. And they are going to agree to come to a new rate that brings it more in line with the times. Any other comments on that? Perfect, moving on. Time for citizen input. Council won't take any action on public comments this meeting, but may do so at a future meeting, so please limit your presentation to 3 minutes.
There does not appear to be anyone on Zoom this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Moving on. Item 8, old business. None. Moving on, number 9, new business. Now it's time for public hearing on proposal entered in a sewer revenue loan and disbursement agreement. Open that public hearing. Does anybody wish to speak on that?
You save some money. It would appear.
So this, what's in our packet,
Yes,
reflects,
the savings as well. And how much was that, Councilmember Elwood?
I lost the number, but I think it was 347 or 74,000.
Yeah,
Something.
it's savings.
One more time?
340 or 7?
$347,000.
$347,000. Yes.
better loan.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I missed the first part of that conversation. Yes.
If you add all the
Actually,
numbers up, it's that much.
we got some deals at
Yes.
the end for the
Yep.
DNR. believe it or not. So,
It helps to talk to people in person sometimes.
right on.
All thanks to Chris.
No.
Any other comments, discussions? Not, I'm going to close the public hearing. Moving on to item B. Now I need a motion for resolution authorizing the premium loan disbursements agreement and providing for the issuance and securing the payment of 14.227 million sewer revenue bonds, series 2024.
Second.
Motion by Bethany, second by Zach.
Andrew.
Or Andrew.
Andrew.
Pay more attention.
Tell him that.
All right, and then for the questions, everybody, well, the bid was only $12,500,000, Chris. Why is our loan for $14 million?
For other expenses such as engineering fees and also to assist in the items that were spent on the wastewater treatment plant prior to the actual bid. So there are some other expenses, and there's also contingency as well, and also to assist the sewer fund.
So as we were kind of borrowing against the future, knowing that this was coming in.
Correct.
Especially why things were running a little bit in the red, knowing that full well they were going to be put into the black because the DNR agreed that we could pay for these things.
That is absolutely correct, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
And that's how come also your rates got reduced, because some of the expenses got taken out, such as the loan origination and those type of things. And because that was taken out, it actually reduced the amount of debt service that you actually needed. Those savings actually does help on the debt service.
Good deal.
Very nice.
Anybody else got any questions on that? Roll call.
Asenius,
Yep.
Palmer,
Yes.
Fruha,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Gates,
Yep.
Elwick.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to item C, now I need a motion approval of resolution directing publication of notice of council intent to fill 4th Ward council position to be vacated by the resignation of Councilperson Gates, effective May 1st, by appointment and directing clerk to publish notice of said intent, consistent with Iowa Code Section 362.3.
Motion.
Motion by Tammy,
Second.
second by Ron. So the reason this is in front of you guys tonight is because we have to give you a choice. Like, at the end of the last meeting, I said we either gonna have to have a special election or you appoint. And after talking to the attorney, we had to give you a choice. If you decide not to have the appointment, it goes immediately into special election. But we just had to pick which one we wanted to put in front of you guys to vote on. So it's just 100% up to you guys which way you wanna go. This was no intent to sway which way you guys wanted to go. It's 100% your opinion which way to go.
But if you do pass this, if I may add, Mr. Mayor, then you have to pick a date for the said interviews today, so we can get that published in the paper. That's what I was told to say by Melissa.
Good job.
Any questions, comments on that? like I said, if an appointment goes, that will only run until the November election, and at which point that will be put on the normal ballot. If you guys choose to not want to appoint, it will go into a special election and they will fill out until when they do expire. 3 more years, so that would run all the way until 2027.
And what is the cost of a special election if we were to go that route?
Found out special election would cost at least at the very least $3,000. And most likely it would be more than that just for the 4th Ward, and it would all have to be funded out of the general fund.
And just to reiterate, appointing, this person will still be on the ballot in November.
If they
If they
choose to.
choose
If they
to.
so
If they
If they
choose to.
choose to.
And it doesn't cost the extra $3,000.
But if we choose to go special election, there is money budgeted for that, correct?
Yes, but I always do budget a special election, no matter what in
Okay.
your budget. Although this year was thinking it wouldn't go towards a special election for a vacant council seat, was thinking maybe it may have to go to maybe a possible bond issuance for the emergency services facility, but that's council's choice. Just being honest.
So,
My motion was to appoint,
have the resolution is to do the appointment. So you made the motion, I got a second.
Yep.
So the idea here would be to have a roll call, and like I said, this does not leave anybody the ability to go out and petition and say we gotta have a special election anyhow. So this could be short-lived, or could be the way to go.
So do we need to set the date then?
Well, we gotta get it approved
Before
first.
we approve it?
I think the dates are part of the resolution.
Yes, they are.
So is there,
May 1.
effective May 1 by appointment?
Yeah, but I thought we had the dates already in there somewhere.
For what they were doing interviews?
Applications by April 26th and interviews the week of the 29th.
There you go. So they're already part of that resolution. All right. Super.
So if someone were to petition,
Yes.
how many signatures do they need?
That I don't know, but it is based off of a certain percentage off of however many
ward.
people voted in the last general election.
Okay.
Have you remember, is it that member of the 4th Ward, or is it just in general?
That I'm not
That's-
sure.
well,
I
thought
think we
it
have
had
to be in the ward that
in the
it's,
ward.
yeah.
I
I
thought
don't-
it was 25 signatures, just like.
No, it's a percentage
Oh.
now. It's not just a set number, I don't think, but the auditor knows, the county
Yeah.
auditor. So
Great.
I would recommend that kind of inquiry going to the county auditor.
So, let's just say, just for example,
Okay,
just an answer. Say we decide to have a special election,
okay.
or against petition to have a special election. So once we have that intent, we have to go notify Haley that we're gonna do this.
Yes.
So here's your cost, city of Benton. That happens, nobody runs.
Then whoever gets the most write-ins or whatever, or nobody runs, then the seat can be appointed. I guess
Does it
somebody could
default
appoint
back
it.
to appointment then?
I believe it could. I don't
No, it
know. I've never had that scenario.
I just wondered.
Not a
I've never had that.
You never know.
Usually
You never
somebody
know. You're
writes
absolutely
somebody's name
Oh,
now.
One person,
You would think.
2 people having their names written.
Again,
We still have to accept.
true story. Any other questions on that?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I don't.
That's fine. You will by the next meeting.
I'll find out. And I will report back.
How about a roll call?
Okay. Palmer,
Yes.
Fluha,
Yes.
Gates.
Yes.
Casillas.
You betcha.
Stark.
Yes.
Elwick.
Yes.
Okay,
Alright.
6-0.
So those dates are set for, so now that has been approved. How long do they have to be able to petition? Just a certain amount?
14 days.
Okay.
That I
Prior
do
to,
know.
Right.
oh, okay. So which one of them? Got it.
Alright, moving on to item D. Now I need motion approval of pay estimate number 2 to Woodruff Construction for the wastewater treatment plant improvements.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Bethany, second by Tammy. Looks like they're just getting started. That was a little tiny day out this time.
Yes.
Anybody got questions? Roll call, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Casillas.
Yep.
Blue Hop.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Elwick.
Yes.
Pobbiner.
Yes.
Gates.
Now moving on to item F. Need a motion approval of special event application.
E.
Oh, yeah, I just crossed it out. Need approval addendum number 1, professional service contract for the rehabilitate runway 927 project, Veterans Memorial Airport.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Riley, second by Zach. Okay, I almost skipped you guys.
I just from here if you had any questions about it.
So my question, I understand all the payment. Did we actually, I had Chris send me the pictures and I went through them again.
I've got pictures if people want to see them, but you don't want to see
Exactly.
them, trust me.
So I have 2 questions, and then it's gonna kind of compound another project we got going on. It looks like the aggregate was starting to fail on that pavement on some of it.
Definitely is.
So now that makes me wonder, do we use the same rock in that pavement that we did, that potentially we used out here on West First? Because it looks like the same potential deterioration that might be happening.
It probably was the same kind of aggregate at the time for that. And on West First, you're talking about the portion that's being cut out.
Yeah, but you can look at the cross section where they cut, and you can tell that about 3/4 of the way down, it is just
It's
rotting
layered
out.
like a pastry almost.
Yes.
You can flake it off. It's just, a lot of that happened, pavement put, down in the 90s. I don't know the street you're referencing when it was paved.
70s.
We found in the pavement in the 90s, it's all over the state. I mean, we're replacing pavements all over the state from that time frame. And in the sense about 15, 20 years ago, we started testing for that, and so that it doesn't happen. But older pavement, yeah, we're seeing it all over the state.
When was it? Mid-80s?
Early
Early
80s,
80s?
early 90s.
No, it was early, it wasn't 90s, I know it was
Well,
up there.
it could have happened earlier than that. I'm just saying that since about 05 to 10, it's been being tested for, so that,
It just looked rough.
yeah.
So. But other than that, I didn't have any other questions. I just want to see those pictures. Because originally I thought, well, maybe they didn't remove it correctly, but then looking at them, they did double saw cut
I've
everything.
got
like
pictures
this.
if anybody wants to see them.
So you got the pictures.
I did, finally.
Okay.
The first 2 I didn't get, the last one I got,
Okay.
that you sent Monday, or whatever day you sent that.
Okay.
So. Yeah. It's kind of disturbing how bad a shape it's in.
Yeah, I've been doing airports for 35 years and hundreds of projects, and it's probably the worst case of that I've seen in that time frame. I mean, you could just, you just keep cutting back, and it's like, where do you stop? Because it's just, now that area in the middle where it's a little lower is probably going to be the worst just because of the moisture. But you can see from the surface, there's signs that it's spreading out, and that's why we have shown in the next few years a replacement, because ultimately the whole thing's gonna go away. I mean, it takes time, but you could spend $500,000 patching every 2 to 3 years and ultimately just have a quilt.
I think this is the 2nd or 3rd since
At least
we've been
it's-
around, we've been out there patching.
Yeah, and I believe on the CIP it's shown later on down the road for an actual
It is,
replacement.
yeah.
So in that conversation is back where we need to go start hitting up the county, because be a regional kind of thing. Before we get to that point, so should probably make that a to-do list thing, let's get with them.
Okay.
Sure Andy would love to lead that charge. Did you actually say yes?
He did.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I just kind of threw it out there. So, you got your champion.
Okay.
Mr. Elliott got a second ward. Lead that charge.
There you go.
All right.
Anybody else got any other questions on that? Roll call, please.
Elwick,
Yes.
Hobbiter,
Yes.
Gates,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Zegis,
Yep.
Fluha.
Yes.
What'd you just call me?
I said Hasidius.
Didn't sound like it.
I thought he said Regis.
No, I said
Good
Hasidius.
girl.
I'm not drunk, okay? I'm here.
I called you Hessen.
Should I call you just Ron?
I do remember that.
I'm.
Item F, I need approval for a special event application for party in the pink 5K.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Riley, second by Zach. Anybody got any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Moving on to reports, Mr. Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. You got your date set. Blake will be here at the next city council meeting and give you a report of what he's been doing. So he will be here at the very next meeting.
Fantastic.
Alright, I received a draft of the brick report from B&K finally, and I still need to talk with Leo, the engineer, Leo Foley, with research him about the cost benefit analysis portion of it, but it is pretty much, I would say, 90% finished at this point for me. Also, you don't need that special meeting appointment.
No,
right, Riley?
they said we can do it on the 25th, and that'll be fine.
Okay. And one last thing, I have been contacted, Holly, your attorney from Lynch Dallas, and I have been contacted by the Teamsters. I have passed the football to Holly right now to actually get some discussions going. But at this point, there's nothing for us to do, but what's going to be, what Holly's going to ask is for something called an executive session with the council, and just want to know what you want to discuss, if any. So, just letting you know, they have contacted myself and Holly is handling it right now. That is all I have for a report right now, Mr. Mayor and Council.
Lovely.
We got back started hauling sludge again, so we're moving right along, barring any breakdowns we have every once in a while. So hopefully he thought we should be pretty close to finishing up next week, so I'm sure Alan will want to be getting in the field pretty soon. So if you haven't been out to the sewer plant, they got the silt fence put up, thank you. So they thought they would be moving dirt today, but I don't think they made it out there yet. So we have a meeting with Woodruff and V&K about our dirt piles.
Tomorrow.
So that the
10
city
o'clock.
gets to inherit, so we gotta figure out where we're gonna put them. And
Yes, for those who don't know, that part of the plan says that all the topsoil that does not get reused back inside has to be stored on our project site. And we talked about dumping it on the east side, and then Craig and I were talking, we should probably utilize the south side for access if we're gonna give it to our citizens. So now it's turning into a, well, what are we gonna do with it kind of thing.
And also, the police department wanted to turn it into a shooting range.
I don't think it'd go in the bottom of that new detention basin, which I think is still the best spot. It's already got natural berms in it, and if it floods, they just don't use it for that day.
So
Right.
we'll be out there in the morning.
They are talking a pile that was 90 feet long, 16 feet wide, and 15 feet tall, if I remember right.
so it'd go out into the farmable acres, and we kinda didn't wanna do that. We just wanna get as much rent money as we can, I guess. So I'm sure once they put it there, it's gonna be there several years, so we'll have to figure out if we wanna advertise it, donate it to the city or sell it, or I don't know what we can do there, but
That's a lot of topsoil.
there's so much erosion.
But I think it's a good benefit to our citizens if they need some.
Yep, I mean, we got compost at the dump up here, we got a big pile that's been in, I don't know where they got that from, the high school or something, they brought in a bunch. It's still there, so we're gonna set really good on topsoil now for a while, so. But hopefully we'll get something resolved tomorrow and get to going
It
on
is a
so.
commodity, we had to sell it.
What time is that meeting? What time is
That's
that
at
meeting?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
So anybody else who wants to go out there, if there's gonna be too many, let us know, cause,
Then we have to post it.
you know. I will not be there.
I will.
Oh, for your.
There's a couple of concerns I had about putting it on the east side, though, we have that
I'm sorry.
outfall line that heads down to the creek. And if we get it too high and we start impacting that and anything ever happens, then we have to dig through 15-foot topsoil just to get down to the original grade and then dig down 5 feet.
And then maintaining the grass and the weeds on it too, just to be.
You know? And that's why we thought maybe 2 piles, 5 feet tall or whatever was a whole lot more beneficial. And that was it. It's been a conversation for 2 days now.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get it resolved tomorrow and
We can get moving.
That'll be seeded by the contractor.
Yes.
And stabilize it all.
in case you didn't know, we flushed hydrants last week, so. Kinda waiting for nice weather to get going on some of our projects, I guess, on the water side, so. Placing some hydrants.
It's gonna warm up.
Yep. As long as we get supplies, we'll get going on stuff, so.
Good deal. Anybody got anything else? That's my report. We've just been dealing with sewer stuff off and on. So,
Oh, and then up there, the Bud's Left Station, we need to talk to Todd and
Yep, they'll be back.
Steve and Nate, I think Ron's got that set up, the
Mhm.
meeting with that, so we'll be
All right.
hopefully getting that resolved and getting that going. Getting that replaced and then another way, so. Guess Andrew was involved too, so.
you said you had that on a timer, your pumps, or are they just on a float system?
They're on a float system.
Floats.
But they only ran for like 2.5 hours all day.
Right. Yeah, it's just a toggle switch, so one pump runs for 24 hours and we switch it each day, we switch it to the other pump, so.
And I guarantee an hour that's in the morning and an hour that's at night,
Right.
Yeah,
when everybody's leaving for work and being back from work.
it is.
The old famous 6
I
o'clock
hear it
flush.
from my house in the yard.
Yeah, back to our conversation, I'm pretty sure they can just replace it in place. The other one is. All right. How about some good welfare?
Wedding anniversary tomorrow.
Oh,
Congratulations. I just got back from Vegas a couple days ago. And it
28
was
years.
warmer here than it was out there.
28 years.
28 years
Awesome.
tomorrow.
Congrats.
Yeah, I won't be here this weekend. I'll be out of town this weekend. I'm going to Wisconsin.
So you're going up to
Madison.
Madison.
Just for the weekend.
Super.
That's all I got.
Spring is here.
Yeah, that is.
Vengeance. Anything else? Need motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Motion by Ron, second by Bethany. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. How was that pronounced again? Senate? What was it?
Pessinus.
That's the news.
That's a news. I can't remember.
Right. It was wasn't it Holly when she came to meet